We're going to do it like they do in the movies. Five, four.
Yeah, actually, recording is already just started. So five, three,
Okay.
two, one. So it's okay. So let's just go through the quick introduction.
Sure.
Tom, so you are the one who is a contributor, who is the actual user of the Blogly, and also the person who knows pretty well Blogly and use it for your own needs. Just tell a few words about yourself, whatever I'm missing, and
Okay.
I can explain. I mean, I can also give some quick introduction for myself.
Sure. Thank you. Basically, I am a freelance writer, and I've written my entire career. I've done the corporate thing for the bulk of it and had the opportunity to come out and start writing. I found out late in my career that I liked to write and that people liked the way I wrote. So well, that's a pretty good combination. And had some challenges with, how to create and manage and research and stuff like that. So then when you and I were linked up together on another project and this one started, I mean, it really struck a note, a positive chord with me because it incorporates a lot of stuff that have been an issue for me and I suspect will be an issue for any writer. So
Okay.
that's pretty much my background.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Tom. So, and then just a few words about myself. My name is Gennady Batrakov, and I am a founder of app Blogly, which is actually focusing on the on the writer's content. So we make a content, we make a easy to enhance content. You can it's a writing app, and at the same time, it's the optimization app. You can optimize it for SEO, and also there's an app that allows sharing content, allows the syncing to WordPress. So there's a lot of functionality. But today we're going to review just the high level overview, just give the how to create a, we're gonna create a few articles, a couple articles. We're gonna show how these articles can be done in a portfolio and show how the portfolio is beneficial to the content creators, right?
Great.
All
Yeah,
right, let
this is
me.
kind of like the hello world of Blogly, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's a hello world. All right, so hopefully that some content creators can pick up and they can see the benefits of the app. Just a quick story that I used to struggle myself, and actually the content writing it's a still painful subject that it does take a lot of work. So no matter what you do, it does take a lot of work. So writing is only one piece of it. When you sit and have a writing block, right? So what to write, how to write, but that's only the one small, I mean, one portion of the writing. Now, even if you have, okay, say, fine, you write the content, you put it in a Google Doc, and then the whole thing again started. Now you need to optimize it, you need to edit it, you need to enhance it with the images, you need to put the URLs, say you put the external link and you put internal links, then you need to actually post it in the WordPress. And now WordPress is an animal by itself. It's not an
Yes, it
easy
is.
platform to work with. Am I right, Tom?
You are right. I've dabbled with that. You had me do some work updating stuff in WordPress. I will go with the word painful.
Actually, I've been learning. I mean, I started working on the WordPress like three something years ago when I was okay. I created a few apps and I thinking now I need to. I think people will come if they see the great app and they see the functional. They will come. Well, not exactly. So I created some really good applications, but my traffic on the website was like, okay, 20, 30 people a day. I'm sorry, 1,000 people a month. I mean, this is very insignificant. It's such a small, I mean, number of the people going through the website. They don't even know you exist. So the number one thing I realized, you gotta create the content so Google can see you, Google see you by whether keywords or whatever. Google
Right.
can actually consider your website as a legitimate. So you gotta bring as much content as possible. A lot of affiliates using this strategy, so they create a lot of content. So they'll bring the traffic on their website, and then once the traffic is there, then you put the affiliate links and you put there some ads, promotion, and now you can start. They call it passive income, right? Would you like to have a passive income, Tom?
I would love to have a passive income. Somebody just pouring money into my bank account every month.
Yeah, I would love that too. So I realized creating the content is a number one goal for me, to have lots of content on the website that to start bringing the traffic. So I start writing a blog post and I realized how difficult it is. Besides of just having the writer's block, there's a lot more involved. So
There
you
is.
need to really all this just a copy paste alone. Just go deal with the A1, and I cannot write everything myself. So yeah, I do the subcontracting. I hire someone. I buy the content, and what do I get? I get the Word docs and the Google Docs, which I still have to do a lot of work on the top of it, and plus I need to check for plagiarism too. So otherwise, I don't want
Oh,
to
that's
get
a
the
good point.
I don't want to get the stolen content. So, and believe me, I went through this when I was doing like 2 years ago when I hired someone, and I had somebody write the content, like very thin content, was like 500-600 words, and I realized, and that's not the good approach. So you gotta write deep content that covers the subject from A through Z. So this say this contractor writes me the articles and he posted them on my WordPress. So a year later I realized that why not those content is not being even recognized by Google. So I started looking at this and I took a test of a couple of them. I ran through plagiarism scanner. I realized it's completely stolen content. So
Wow.
basically Google just simply ignores it completely, because that Google only takes one one content over, if they have a multiple sites showing the
Right.
same content, even though sometimes they tweak some words, they just change the paragraphs, but that's not still content is Google is not stupid, so they recognize that content is being used some on the original site somewhere else. This content is not good.
Right.
So so I I realized that the plagiarism checker or scanner is also a priority during. You deal with the content, whatever you write. I mean, of course, if you sit down, write, looking at the ceiling, and start doing banning everything from your head, yeah, you're not gonna be. I mean, your content will be original,
Right.
but you're still doing a lot of research, and if you give a content to write to someone else, they will do that. I mean, they could grab the pieces of content from multiple sites thinking they are so smart. So but there is a scanners that I really easily can recognize that.
Yeah.
So
Well,
uh,
the way I approach it is I've used, and we'll get into the plagiarism here in the tool. I write original. I mean, I'll go out and research. For instance, was writing a website for another person. Didn't know anything about their business. Went out, researched the business. I said, "Give me some good sites." I knew a little bit about the business. Happened to deal with lubricants. Exciting topic. But my dad had a service station growing up, so I knew about lubrication, and so I knew enough to to get the understanding. Once I wrote it, I read that, wrote it, checked it, and very little plagiarism came back. I mean, words in common use would show up, but that is a bugaboo as a writer. I don't want my work stolen, and I'm not going to steal somebody else's. So, I mean, if
yeah.
you give attribution, which is another thing that you can do very easily with Blogly, yeah, you're going to quote somebody. That's not plagiarism. So,
Yeah, yeah. So we'll show some tricks now. We're gonna go overview like how to create articles, and you can bring your own content. Consider that's your own, but you can
right,
see the system can easily bring in anyone's content inside. But does it give you the right present it as your own? No. But you can use it effectively to write your own content when you have lots of snippets and a lot of, say, other research data right in your view. So that's why we have this draft and craft. You can use this draft section for viewing the content that is, say, many people write about the same I mean, you're not gonna recreate the vehicle, right? Or say you're not gonna bicycle, you're not gonna create new bicycle. So, but you still have to write original content. You still have to cover the subject. I mean, like for example, how many people write, okay, how to create a blog post? If you search by how to create a blog post, you will get about 500,000 of response. I mean, searches on a Google for 1 month. 500,000 for how to write a blog post. Come on, everybody competing for the same keyword, right?
Right.
But you go for the longer keyword. So yeah, you're not gonna create something new, but you wanna bring those people who writes this content. So you wanna bring it to your website. So you gotta use this article. I mean, you're not gonna create like totally brand new information that so nobody knows about it. Yeah, you're not gonna create new bicycle, but you have to have a content on your site so the people who are searching for that keyword, maybe they can find your website and they can go on your website. This is just an example, right?
Right.
So
And even though it's not an original topic, I think what you're saying is there really are few original topics unless we start getting into, Star Wars type of stuff where you can
yeah,
beam people around. That aside, there isn't much under the sun that hasn't been written about at some
yeah,
point.
there is not much.
So,
There is not much there that you write totally new. I mean, anything you search, it exists, right?
right.
But
What you
you
do
still
want to
need to bring the traffic, right?
yeah, if you write well, write in a positive, not even that's not the right word. If you write the way people that engage people, then they'll read it.
Yeah,
So you put the two articles about the same topic side by side, and people, you go to it and say, this one is kind of stale. It's more academic. And I'm really not into that right today. This one's more of a story. It's actually, speaking to me as a person. It just, obviously your audience will dictate that, but so.
yeah. But also another thing is you can compete when you search for the specific keyword and you want to bring the traffic. You can compete, but compete with better content, more enriched content. Say you bring lots of some images, some charts, some
True.
graphs,
Very
some
good point.
quotes, some additional external links saying, okay, here's you can read more about this, or here is some this extra subject you can actually pick up from there. So yeah, external, internal links are important. The images that you provide are important because who wants to read the boring content, right? I mean, there's a block of text. Who wants to read that? I mean, when I look at something, I want to see like clear blocks, bullet points. I want to see there's some images, even though the images maybe not, as long as they're relevant, but nice. Let's fresh up with the content, with the image. So if you're talking about, say like lubricant oils, so bring some images of lubricant oils, right?
Absolutely, I did. Hey, well, what do you think we jump in here and show the people who
Yeah,
tuned in
let's get it.
to let's show them how to do their first article in Blogly.
All right, yeah. Let me share my screen. Hold on just a
I know
second.
there's so much about Blogly. We could just spend a couple of hours just talking about
Yeah,
the
yeah. So
stuff.
yeah, it's a lot to cover. So for now, I just opened my website so you
Okay.
can actually see what the primary page for the blog list. So yeah, that's we helps to create original content and help to sell it as well. So we're gonna go over I mean not every functionality, but we can cover some of the really good functionality useful that you can do it with a totally free account.
Cool.
So let's go over. So the Plugly interface is pretty clean, simple. So there is not much there. So let me just pretending that let's say like I'm just starting now.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a good place.
Yeah, I'm just putting a filter so you understand that this is like a first page. When you join the Blogly, it will appear like this. So there is not much information here, but it gives you the message, but also gives you the button new. So that's the like a bright button right in the middle. I mean, in your face. So of course, you create the article, you click on the new. So you give a name. So let's give a name, testing article, right?
Right.
Say new article. Now, do I need to fill in the folder or put the content type? Well, if you don't have a time, you don't have to do it now. You can change it later. But this is a
Okay.
content type, so for you to know that you not only can write blog post, right? So this is a
Right.
content management app. So in this content management app, you can do there some UX writing, some legal writing, some business names, slogans, whatever you want to keep in speech writing, the podcast writing. It doesn't matter. But right now, let's focus on a blog post. So
Okay.
you have a multiple statuses: idea, open, closed, archived, and canceled. So that by default it opens there. In a folder, you can just fill in whatever you want to give a folder name. That's the place. You just simply say, okay, here's my folder to have the ideas. Fine, you can do that. So if you don't put any folder, there's no folder assignment there. If I want to select blog content for Blogly, I can do that. I can select this one and click OK. Once I'm in it, so this is the place for the content creation. And trust me, there is a lot of functionality behind it. So, but it appears very simple. There's not much there, but we will go over quickly because we don't have lots of time. So we're gonna do some of the important functionality. Of course, the left side is blocks. Blocks are nothing more than just a paragraph, so chapters, right? You break
Yep.
down. You don't write like one article with just simple block of text. Everything is just one text of one same format. No, you usually write, let's say, you subdivide it into the certain like paragraphs. Each
Right.
paragraph have, like, say, for example, introduction. The last paragraph would be conclusion, and anything in between. Like if you talk about how to write a blog post, you could say, okay, what are the platforms I used for blog posts? So what's the where to start writing a blog post, how to do research ideas for the blog post. So all this are the like breakdown on the different paragraphs. In Blogly, each block is independent. You can move it around, you can do the drag and drop. I give example. Say if I give a block name, let's say if I say introduction, right?
Right.
Intro, I call it, let's say, intro. I click OK, and I go immediately right in the block, in this block. So the block name is here, and this is a full rich text editor. And by the way, this editor has the native integration with Grammarly. So when you write it, you can do that. If you have a paid account gives you a little more options. If you have a free account, you still can use it. Here's my Grammarly is right here. But when you write it, and I will show you after some samples. So
Okay.
we're not gonna talk later. We're gonna talk later about draft. But every time you wanna go back where you started, you go on the left upper corner. Here is my article name. So testing new articles. I go back. Now see, once I created the block appears here. This
Right.
the first block is here. Table of content is basically set by default. It's not visible in here, but it's set by default by the Blogly because we're gonna keep the table of content. You can set it in the settings that it's not the part of the table of content will not be created, so it will be outside of the article. Now let me say, now I'm gonna throw a few blocks. Say how to do topic research.
Oh, hey, while you're there, this block name, it says H2 next to it. And this is something I
Yeah.
learned from well, one of many things I learned from you about the importance of H2 and H3, the HTML headings to the search engines, is that they want to see multiple headings in there, not just boldface, right?
Yeah. See, now I created a few blocks. Let's say, let me put now posting, say posting article in WordPress. I'm just simply created a few blocks. Let me just do one more. Let's say now it's a conclusion. And conclusion is there. Now go back. Now you can see this is my outline. Now I can move this around anywhere I want. Let's say I want intro and conclusion on the button for the front and at the end. Now let's say here's a how to do topic research. Maybe I want to do the second one. And you could see it's changing here. You could see that all the blocks are, this is your outline. And each block is independently managed. So if I go to intro, when I write the intro, I put anything, any writing here. I can add the images. I can do the file uploads. I can change the formatting. I can use the different headers inside there. I can use the block codes. I can use the colors for highlights and the text. I can use also the iframes, embed the iframes. And also there is a messaging portion, but messaging right now we will not talk about messaging.
Yeah, that'll.
Yeah. So the messaging will be managed differently. So I'm gonna chop it off. So now you created your outline. Here's your outline. You can actually go ahead and start writing. Just remember, you can always modify it, change it, and add it. You can increase it, decrease. So basically, you're creating your outline. So when I go back, now I'm seeing this article. Let me remove the filter. Now this article appears here. So this article, you can always go inside and start writing by clicking on block and start writing. You change the name here. You want to delete the block right here. Now, important part is that you start writing here. You're creating totally brand new original article inside the Blogly. Let's say you want to bring in your already existing article. You can use this import. You're clicking on import, gives you three options. You can bring it as a Google Doc. You can bring it as a just simply put in your blog URL or your HTML file.
Okay.
We can do it through the Google Docs, but I think it would be great to show right now, like how you can bring with a blog post, any blog post in your in a Blogly into your account. So if I go here, I've done already some search. Say if I go here, how to write a blog post. Let's say I picked the very first one. Let's say I can go with this one. So this is the URL from the WordStream. It's pretty known website. It has lots of traffic, by the way. So now if I go here, now I can paste this URL. Let's assume this is my blog post which I wrote. Okay. Now I can bring it in here. I can just click here on OK. Just wait for a few seconds, and this blog post showed up right here. Now when I go inside, now you could see this blog post is now brought me in completely the article with all the images, with all the URLs, link, and actually original formatting as well.
That's amazing. Wow.
So yeah, now this is the way you can already, if you are a writer, if you're a blogger, if you are a content creator, let's say you're a freelancer and you deal with the clients. So you probably use what I know to my research is about over 95% are using one of the two, Google Docs or Word files, right?
Okay.
So you send into your clients a Google Doc. They take a Google Doc. They start cleaning it up. They start copy posting it into the WordPress. You have a lot faster tools here. If you are now creating this article or bringing the article here, all you need to do just simply you can export this as HTML, and this HTML can be easily uploaded into the WordPress. So here's the export. You can do it HTML, PDF, text. So if I do that in a PDF, you can see it's downloads me a PDF file. It's showed up right here.
Oh, okay.
This is a PDF file exactly as as it used to be. So you can actually take this and share it as a PDF to to your clients. But a better way of doing it, you can actually sell the article directly from the Blogly. But I can show that later. So right now, what you can do with this article? So you brought in your article. First of all, you can bring it as a text. Let's say you have just a text. Now you can go ahead and say format this article. So you can enhance it. You can bring your own images. You can add your URL links here. Let's say if I want to add URL, you can do this. You can just set your target URL, or you can actually create it as a let's say if somebody clicks on this one, I want to bring them to specific block of text. I can do that as well.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah, now also you can enhance it with your own images. This is where the handy portion of the draft comes in. So this is where you keep your notes. You can create the notes, and notes are stored something like this. I'll show you here. So this is like my notes that I created from other sites. If I want to populate these notes, I can use extension. An extension, actually, you copy the different pieces of content from other sites and bring it in here.
So this is the research backing up your articles.
Yeah, this is a research. So you can take this research and say if you like certain parts of it, by looking on the left side, you can write your own version. Again, you're not creating a brand new bicycle. So basically, you're just creating a better bicycle, right?
Right.
So you do the good research, you bring your notes from other sites, you put them together nicely, and each note that created here has the link to that original article. I can take a look and see what is there that is actually useful from this article. And actually, if I use my extension that we built, you can actually populate the quickly additional content and bring it in here as well. You can see that even the images are here also saved. Let's say if I want to add this piece of content, the whole note, I can use it even like that. If I click here, it will just simply take that information and bring it in here. But that's a complete article right here.
Wow.
Now, what else you can do here is once you create your articles. Now, most importantly, we're not gonna go over all the functionality, but most important is, and number one, why we are trying to attract the people, content creators and bloggers. Here is the ability to create the portfolios. Now, what are the portfolios? So portfolios, basically, this is your way of, this is your like a digital signature. This is your business card, digital business card. Let's say if I want to create a new portfolio, I can just do it right here. Say my portfolio, and I can set the subheader. I can put some extra description. I can put my logo, but I do not have to. Let's go to the next step. So I select the already existing templates. I could use it as a block card view, for example.
Right.
My initial
I like
page.
that one. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, my initial page would be this a portfolio. And now what do I want to show? I want to show my portfolio and profile, or want to show just portfolio only or profile only. Let's say I do use this portfolio and profile. Now, this one is if I want to configure my profile, I can go to the settings on the freelancer sub tab. But right now, let's finish my portfolio. As you can see, this just took about couple minutes to set the given name selected. And even that, don't worry about the whitelisting, because whitelisting is more on the premium accounts. That means on your own website or say subdomain, you can we can populate this portfolio.
Okay.
So now, when you go to next step, now is the place where you can add the articles that you want to display in the portfolio. Just simply click in add, find the article which you want to display. Let's say I want to use this one, I want to use that one, and I want to use maybe I can search, say if I find it, let's say I want to use that one. When I click here, you could see the article showed up here. Now the only one thing for me to understand, the statuses are determined whether the article show up in your portfolio or not. And you can see right here in the help section is archived and completed or closed. They will be visible in portfolio. So open will not show up. Okay. So now if I go back here, this is my URL for my portfolio. Let's say if I click here, I will open that URL. So as you saw this before, now this one is open in my profile. If I go to my portfolios, you can see 2 articles I just added to my portfolio, and they already instantly showed up. So here is let's say if I'm done, I'll click done. Now you see this one, that one I created. Now go back here. Let me change now to configuration to blog list view. When I do this and done, you can see it changes the color, so I understand this is a blog list view. And now let me review this again. Now again, I need to go in the portfolio. So this is the 2 articles that I assigned. Let me just add this one here. I add the 3rd article as well. So all I need to do is just change go to org details, and I change the status. So basically, if this will be closed, now this article will be visible here. If I refresh it, now 3 articles are here. So as you can see how quickly it is to create your own portfolio. So it looks like a blog, right? So this blog articles. Oh, by the way, let me show you how that the clients that, or say your customer or client or your editor or anybody, so or your friends or whoever you want to advertise, you just send this link and they will be edit by looking at the article, they can see it just like that. So the article is fully done with images, with external URLs, and you have a table of contents on the right. So you can shrink it as this is a feature image, so you can take a look in the feature image. Sometimes the feature image you want to put a lot more like information. Sure. Now by clicking here, you can see the display is changing. You can also view it by the individually, one block at the time. So you can just go next, 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 and you read the content. You can have this as your say tutorial setup. So maybe your portfolio is a tutorial for someone. So in one article you may say explain some functionality, or maybe explain some information about yourself, whatever. So but this one is your portfolio. Portfolio is in one URL. You can actually change the name, how it looks. You can go back here and say want to replace the name. You can just add it here, and you can see the number. This number is unique to you, so you can change this one. You can say you're doing a business with oils, right? So like oils, let's call it as oils. Once you change that, now this URL changes, and now you could see the same portfolio, I mean, showed up. This one is start from profile. I need to change this. So if I change my portfolio only, it's done. Now if I go back, now you can see this one is I hide my profile. It just shows me my portfolio, and you can expand it in a free account. This is a free, absolutely free. The only limitation is for free account. You can add it up to 5 articles. Okay. But that's enough to have that show about yourself. Now, this is a messages involved. So if somebody wants to message you, they still need to put their email and name. Once they do that, it will open up, and when you get the message, you will get the message right here. So right now, this one is not I just do not have yet messages here. There is nothing there. But
I'll
once
send
the
you one.
messages are showed up, they will show up in here. Actually, I can show that this is my development, so you could see some of that heavy messages. So your message will show up here. So
Okay.
you could see who wrote your message, but we only use usernames. But you can reply. So reply goes through 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 Blogly. So when you click a reply, it gives you you can type the message here. Once you click OK, the user who wrote you the request or question, they will receive in their email. That's why we're asking for the email
Sure.
when they enter any comments. And the communication will be one-on-one with you. They will see only the comments that relate to them, and you can see but you can see the comments from everybody here, or say questions. So
Right.
you can actually use this full rich text format because this one gives you that ability to put the links, your colors. You can add the images, whatever is needed, and this will be visible in response.
So everything that we've looked at here, you have done, created in Blogly itself.
Yeah.
That's amazing, because actually what you're saying here is that you can start your article, do your research, create a digital signature, digital portfolio, and talk to people without ever having to leave the application itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is very cool. And
Yeah.
if you've got some existing content, you can bring it in with the import feature. So you're not wasting time, copy, paste, copy, paste. You just
Yeah,
bring
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah. You don't want to copy paste. So yeah, if you got your content in a Google Docs, let's say here, and you can just simply click here. You just select. We integrate it with the Google Docs. So let's say if I go here and I'm gonna get some Google Docs, and I'll show you how the Google Docs will be brought in. So I'm gonna select one of the files that I have. Let's see which one we're
Oh,
gonna
there's
select.
Small Business Guide to Payroll
Yeah,
Deductions.
let's do this one. So we take
Got a
select,
nice graphic.
and you can see this one is set up here. Now you can
Can you
just
bring
click.
in more than one file at a time?
You can, but I think it's better to do it one by one. So you just
Sure.
bring the file. Here it is. So I brought the file directly from
Holy
Google
mackerel.
Doc. It actually brings also the images as well. So if you do have the images already created there, so everything is there. But even if you don't, you can always populate it here. You can go to library, add files, and drop images here. Then you can move. Let's say I give you example. If I take this one and say I'm gonna go to some of the images. Let's do I take say this image, right? If I use
Okay.
that one, now compression and conversion of images built in. So if you bring the images, you want them to compress. You don't need to go on any other apps. You can here, and by the way, it's quite powerful here. You can select the quality. Say
Okay.
quality is 70% is set by default, which is great. It just gives enough. It actually simplifies your file without actually lossless, without losing the quality. And also you resize. Let's say if the file is really large size, you can resize it. And again, it's by percentages, and it's increments of 10. Same thing is here in increments of 10. So like in this case, I bring this file, I can click OK. This file will be populated here. Now for me to paste it here, all I need to do just simply click here and say copy to craft, and now this file is brought in here, images here. Now
Wow.
you could do it both ways, of course. You can do it through here. You can upload the file, but it's
Okay.
better place. And by the way, anything you do here is still files will show up here in your libraries. So
Got
it
it.
belongs to the article. Now, if you
Okay.
say all, I could see lots of files that that I used somewhere else. So I can reuse the same file and put it here. And again, all the files that I mean, all the, let's say, and by the way, this library is not just for images. It's for docs, for the Word files, for the PDFs, for the any Excel files, whatever you need. Let's say you want to keep it in related to article, you can just upload it here. It's always will be maintained in your libraries, article related. Like here, if I switch to article related, there's only one showed up. But if you have the other ones article related, it will be here as well. And by the way, all the images that we show here, once you sync the article to WordPress, we will not upload these images in the WordPress, even though you provide all the SEO data. Like here, you can give alternative name, you can provide the URL, you can set the width of the article. But alternative name is SEO related metadata.
Okay.
So without even bringing the articles, I mean bring the images into your media folder in the WordPress, you really don't want to use media folder because it becomes so big there, and eventually the website will be slow and you need to constantly re-optimize. So we keep all the images outside. It's in our Amazon server. So they will be dynamically displayed in the article. So you can check our blog posting.
Well, I tell you what, that is probably enough for the intro.
Yeah, it's enough.
I have spending and I've been using it.
Yeah. Next time we will discuss the more of the exciting things. Like we can talk about how to use the calendar. In the calendar is you have a publishing calendar where you have published, unpublished articles, how you can move them around. We can also discuss the more in-depth portfolio management. We can also talk about the
selling and making money.
Yeah, we can also talk about the marketplace. This is the place where you can say, okay, I created my article. I have the article ready. Now I wanna do this sale like this one. It's a pretty extensive article. That's about this article contains a lot of information. So if I wanna sell this article, and this is original, it has to be original content.
Right.
You can just go here. There is a tools. You can go click on sell it. You go through the first step. You read the identity information. You go to the next step. You can add your description to the article, and you can select the industry group. We already have preset industry groups.
Okay.
And go to the next step. This is the place where you can give the price. Our articles are all, I mean, when they go for sale, they will be in a single currency, USD. So you can actually connect your Stripe account, or you create your Stripe account, and and also we will be adding the PayPal as well. So you can get paid, and then you have to run the scanner. When I click on the scanner for plagiarism, and then the plagiarism, it's gonna runs and get the plagiarism report. This takes about a minute depending on the size of the article, and it gives you say how many credits are required. But right now I have 295 credits myself, so but the credits need to be purchased. So but it's inexpensive, is like for 20, 30, 40 cents you can actually process the article report. So when you go here,
we can go into more detail on that too, because you've shown me what those reports look like. It's pretty impressive.
This report is available also here in the plagiarism checker. But again, we will go like this one. This is the report, and shows you the scanned article. For the red parts are highlighted. That means it's found a similarity on some other websites. So in this case, but this one is understandable. 77% was done by Blogely. That's my article, which is already was posted. So the copy leaks went out and got the information. It says 77% was stolen content from here. So if it is a stolen content, yeah, we will not let sell anything if the similarity score is more than a certain percentage. Like if I go here, it's recognized that the similarity score is 77. That means it will tell you that our plagiarism score is not low. So in this case, you need to really rework your article to make sure that becomes original. Okay.
Got it. All right. Well, that is outstanding. I have to say that I've enjoyed, I'm still enjoying using it. And there's a lot of other applications with other clients. I can use it for website content, for LinkedIn posts, a variety of things. So I think next time we can talk about other topics as well.
Yeah. So for now, it's enough. I think we covered more than enough for the first introduction. So
Yeah, that was fun.
yeah, I hope it's understandable, clear, and enjoyable. And by the way, we'll continue this series of introduction of Blogly and usage of the specific functionality. Like we haven't talked yet about the more in depth about plagiarism. We haven't talked about SEO optimization. We haven't talked yet about the feedback processing, how we do
Right,
that.
doing the messaging inside and so
And the
forth.
commenting as well. So there is lots of functionality to cover. But right now, it's good enough for the first one.
Okay.